Today's video is going to be so much fun because today we're going to be talking about anger. And I feel like that's an emotion a lot of people don't really want. I feel like a lot of people don't know whether this one is worse, but this one or sadness. And I feel like fear, even though it's done in a primary color for this character, which is very much unlike fear, which very much taps into showing you a very secondary emotion. But I feel like it's a primary color. A lot of people feel it's a very primary emotion because it's usually instantaneous, impulsive, and ignited. But it usually is the onset of something that disgusts us or saddens us, basically, something that doesn't make us happy. And I feel like a lot of people are feeling this emotion today. I see a lot more anger than I do fear these days. And I feel like that is very justified between what's going on in today's society, whether we're very happy or we're very sad. A lot of people are very angry at each other, very angry at how everybody feels, very angry that their point is not being seen, and overall very angry that some things are going into effect that they may not agree with, even though that they do agree with some things. And that's kind of always the case in life, unfortunately. Things are not always painted like a bright, pretty picture, especially when it comes to, you know, the vast world and all the problems in it. I don't necessarily want to ignite or go through the emotions while I'm doing this series, so my moods might feel very different from the prospect while I'm filming, but I feel like that's probably the best way to go about it, so I can get a true perspective on this for you and sort of help everybody sort of go through their emotional roller coaster this year, because it is a tough one for a lot of us. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching and hope you enjoy. So to get started on today's look, I've already taken my Skin Food. This is the Peach Sake Toner. Really loving Skin Food. Everything is super, you know, natural and, you know, enjoyable to use. Actually really works. Some of the products can sting if they have a lot of, like, I don't know, poor finishing qualities, but they work, they help, they cleanse, they do everything. And so with that being said, talking about products that work, I've also taken my Cure Organics eye cream. This is the Edelweiss and Chlorella Stem Cell Hydrating and Restore Eye Cream. Today I also took my Brilliant Future Age Defense Serum. You can see it's almost gone, and then I'll be trying something new, just to try something new, see how that brightens. And then I've also taken the Korres, whoa, it didn't break. The Korres Wild Rose Salvage. Getting over the fact that I thought my jar was gonna crack. I love this stuff actually. It's a very top rated moisturizer and it's only $38. The cream didn't even move. That's strange. This must not be a glass jar, which I'm okay with. And then I also took my BareMinerals Prime Time Brightening Primer, which is already on, and I just didn't do the long short of it because I just uploaded my skin and foundation routine, so if you'd like to go ahead and check that out, you are more than welcome to. Foundation, I'm going to be taking my BareMinerals Complexion Rescue in the shade Opal. I feel like that's already running out. Probably isn't though. I don't feel like I've had that a long time. And we're just going to stipple this on. This is a So Best, I believe it's a rose gold handle brush. So after that's on, I just put a very, very thin layer of hydrating mineral veil so the skin doesn't look cakey. And because I don't want the foundation and the Well Rested to sit together, because it really does not give you the the maximum strength of the Well Rested, when it's just kind of settling into the cream, it sort of becomes one with the cream when you put the two together, because this is kind of a raw mineral. So I really like to bump the face into a powder by taking the hydrating veil so that this sits on top and gives that more full coverage. Otherwise, the powder products and the cream products are quite malleable. And now this is one of their newer shades that I'm trying out, and this is the BareMinerals Original Foundation. They kind of urged the BareMinerals girls to try one of the new shades even if we were using one of the old ones. And this is the closest thing they have to you know, fair, but I actually really like it because it's a little neutral, so it does sort of downplay some of the redness in my skin. Sometimes if it's too neutral, it looks too medium or too yellow on me, but this is not a bad shade at all. I'm going to put on a little bit more hydrating veil just to set that so we can go in with our more fun cosmetics. So now I'm going to be taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel in Auburn, and we're going to comb up the brows a little bit so we quite literally know where they stand, and then we will fill them in from there. I like to do this before so the brows don't look too kind of like heavy and sticky. You can always comb through after the brows are kind of set up and finished, and it will kind of make them look kind of like, I don't know, fuller, more Cindy Crawford-like, but I always like to take that step first. Taking the BareMinerals Brow Master Duo, this comes with a gel pot and of course a brow brush. I'm just kind of dipping that in there, and they do sell the Brow Master by itself. I think it's a great brush, by the way. This is actually the precursor to the brow gel. This has been out for a while. So I'm just going to kind of fill them in, and this is a universal brow color. It only comes in one shade. It's really supposed to work for everybody. And then take this spoolie, which is actually a really great spoolie, and it really combs out quite a bit of excess product you don't need. So I feel like the brow is always ending with a very flattering shape. Brows are on. I've already taken my BareMinerals 5-in-1 BB Advanced Cream Shadow in the shade Soft Linen, and that kind of just serves as an eye primer so all the shadows stick and look fabulous. Next up, I'm going to be taking my Kat Von D Lock-It Setting Powder. This is a great setting powder for underneath the eyes because it is lightweight. It doesn't add any texture, and it does slightly brighten up the skin. So it's a very idyllic brightening powder. And baking powder, because sometimes baking can add a lot of dry texture to the skin, which is why I haven't always been a proponent of it. I haven't really found like a good cruelty-free one until I kind of landed on this one. So I really do like this one. It comes in a 5-gram jar, so it's a much heftier jar than the Well Rested. Next, we're going to be taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Renaissance palette and my Sedona Lace blending brush. I'm going to be taking Tempera, which is of course a basic kind of bland eyeshadow used to basically highlight the brow bone and fill in concealer, eye primer, or whatever it is you like to use on the eyelid. That makes the eyeshadows set up just nicely. If you're not using an eye primer or concealer, something sticky, your eyeshadows are not blending to their full potential. Next up, I'm going to be taking Burnt Orange. I think in my previous look we took, you know, something that looked like this, because this is going to be much more warmer look. I'm going to be taking Burnt Orange. And if you are buying singles, Burnt Orange is a single and Fresh is a single, and Fresh looks a lot like Tempera. So that will definitely work for you. So now that that is blended on both eyes, I'm going to be going in with Golden Ochre, which looks like that. And we're going to place this in the inner tear duct and into the inner corner. And that will just kind of soften up the crease as well as add a little touch of light into the inner portion of the eye. Next up, I'm going to be taking Red Ochre and putting this in the depth of the eye socket. Now before we really get into some color and some darker tones, I'm going to go in with Primavera while the brush is still relatively clean And I'm going to, if you need to shake out any of the pigment in your brush or grab a different brush, depending on how heavy-handed you are, definitely do so. But I'm going to lighten up the inner corner with Primavera, just so the eye looks, you know, healthy. Next, I'm going to be taking Venetian, oops, got some pigment in my eye. Next, I'm going to be taking Venetian Red. And really kind of bouncing that crimson. And I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Realgar, which is that bright orange. So we're gonna do a little bit of a, you know, a gradient from the yellow to the red. So you literally have that flamant boil. So next I'm going to be taking Cypress Umber, which is that dark brown. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the outer corner. If you use this a decent amount, and it is very flattering on a lot of skin tones, the pigment pans will quickly use themselves up because it is very, they're very powdery pigments. So either have like some kind of an eye guard, some bake, or do the foundation last because there could be some fallout with this palette. Keep the eye looking very clean and clear. I'm going to be taking the Stila Smudge Stick Waterproof Eyeliner in the shade Alpine and just really clean up the waterline. And now I'm going to go in with a little bit of burnt orange and just kind of shade underneath the eye. And after you're done blending Cypress Umber, you may need to retouch your brow color, which I definitely did do. You may even need to retouch your brows. The rules a little bit in skipping that liquid eyeliner. We're going to take the Stila Huge Mascara So now that the eyes are done, I'm going to go ahead and take a little Sun from BareMinerals, and we're just going to warm up the face. Wipe away that bake one more time. If you need to take a new brush, you can. I feel like, you know, you don't need to take as many brushes if you really pick up your pigment the right way. Try not to grind it into the brush. It'll keep everything pretty harmonious. I feel like the more brushes you take, sometimes the more separated the look can be, and you'll also have to wash a lot more brushes. And really warm up the face with flowers. It's sort of a neutral reddish pink, so it'll kind of go with this monochromatic look. You really only need that much. It's very heavy pigmented. And with a heavy pigmented blush, we're going to do a little bit of an X. So to polish off the look, I'm going to be taking Buxom Plump Line Lip Liner in Incognito, which is a warm nude, very similar to Hush or Cinnamon. This is a good one for very pale girls. Very pale girls. So I have that on. It does plump. And for lipstick, I'm going to be taking Stila Stay All Day Metal Lipstick in Dore. This is good for people with all sorts of skin tones because it is sort of like a metal rose gold. This smells like a vanilla / rose. I can't quite make it out. Roses are red, except this one. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed today's look and hope you try it out. And don't be afraid, ashamed, or embarrassed to be in touch with your emotions.